Hello! Today I wanted to do sort of a subtle, extreme eye look, basically. Yeah, just an eye look that's sort of like really autumn-like, because I just wanted to do another autumn look, because this is going to be my last autumn look of this year. After this I'm just going to start out on more wintry tutorials, I guess. So yeah, I just wanted to do one more autumn look, and I wanted to do something that's like really fun and autumn-like, but still wearable. And I mean, I would still wear this outside because, as you can probably see from a distance, it doesn't look all that weird or anything. But from up close you can see that I did little leaves instead of regular eyeliner. So yeah, something different for a change. So yeah, I hope you're going to like this tutorial. Let's get started. Okay, so for this sort of subtle, extreme eye look thing, I'm sort of trying to make it like, you know, like a look that stands out but not something too extreme. So I'm just going to start out with the Maybelline Color 2 in the shade Crème de Rose, which I use every time, and every single time I still have to check what its name is, because apparently I just can't remember it. But yeah, I'm just applying that as a base with my eyeshadow brush. You can use anything you like an actual eyeshadow base. You could also use a little bit of concealer. For those of you who don't really like follow me for all that long, or you know, only watch this one video, I always apply just my entire base, then I powder it all including the eyes, and yeah, that actually just prevents the creasing. And then I just need something on top of it to make it a little bit more sticky, so that the eyeshadow actually shows off all its pigments. But for that part you can just use anything, like, yeah, like I said, an eyeshadow base, a concealer, or a Color 2 or a paint pot or whatever, as long as it's, you know, something like this. Yeah, and then I'm going to move on to a Makeup Academy palette, the Undressed palette, which looks like this. I always keep those brushes that are in it and I never use them, and then they end up falling out, so I really don't know why I continue to keep them, but yeah. Anyways, I'm just going to start out with this taupe shade over here and a blending brush, just to sort of define the crease already. It's just something I like to do nowadays, just because it makes the entire blending part easier. Also, I'm going to put bright orange on top of it later, and the brown is just going to make sure, or taupe, is just going to make sure that it's, you know, not too bright, because again, I want it to be a autumn look, but I want it to be like a normal eye look at first, and then only, like, you only see the special part about it once you're actually closer to the person wearing it, or, you know, you get what I mean. I wanted it to be a little bit subtle. And I'm also going to highlight underneath the eyebrow, because there's one thing I always forget, so I just do it whenever I think of it. So I'm going to use the palest color from the palette, which is a really pale nude shade with some shimmers in it. Or actually a lot of shimmers in it. Concentrating on the highest point of the eyebrow. Sorry if you could hear my phone. And then it just looks like that. Then it's time to move on to the eyelids and the rest of the crease, basically. So I'm going to use a different palette for that first. Which is a sleek IDivine Ultra Matte Volume 1 palette with all the bright shades. And I'm going to use orange and a angled brush. Angled brush, yep. Most people know what it looks like. And basically I'm just going to fill in the outer V with it. And really going to blend it into the crease. And it's going to look pretty bright on the outer corner of the eye, but you know, I'm going to apply a different color on top of it later. I just really want that hint of orange to be there underneath it. And the rest of the orange is going to be blended up into the crease. And as you can see, because of the taupe color, it doesn't really stay very brightly orange. I don't know if that's proper grammar. It just sort of becomes a brownish shade of orange. That was the worst explanation ever, but you know, you see what I mean. Then I'm going to move back to the Makeup Academy palette and a eyeshadow brush. smaller one than the one I used for the base. And I'm going to start out with this gold shade over here. And as usual, I'm always showing you the colors just because, you know, if you don't have this particular palette, then you can just use whatever, whatever you do have. And I dropped the brush. But yeah, you can just use whatever you do have. As long as it has sort of like the same colors, I guess. So I'm basically just putting that on the inner part, the center part of the eyelid. And then for the outer part, I'm going to move on to this color over here, which is sort of a shimmery taupe shade. Looks paler on camera than it does in real life. I'm going to put that over the orange. If you're using the same palette, you may want to apply quite a lot of it, because not all shades are extremely pigmented. But they are very nice and shimmery, so that's why I still like this palette. And then just using the same brush, I'm just wiping it off on a towel that I have on my lap after each color. I'm just going to use the palest shade to highlight the inner corner of the eye. I hope you can't hear the wind blowing outside. It's like really horrible weather here. Which is also my excuse if the lighting isn't perfect, by the way. Yeah. I still want the crease to be a little bit darker, so I'm also going to use this black shade. It has, I don't know if you can see, but it has glitter in it, but they don't really show up on the eye. So I'm just using a small round brush to put that in the crease. And also in the outer V. Now if you're using a palette with better pigmentation than the one I'm using, then you should probably be better off using a grey shade if you want to get the same effect as this. Just blending it now, by the way. Because I don't want the crease to be black or anything, I just want it to be a little bit darker, so yeah. Basically this shade just, it's like, it doesn't make it completely black, it just sort of darkens it. Which I think is enough to give a good effect. But if you want to be more dramatic, of course, you can also use like a really black eyeshadow. But yeah, I'm just going to keep it at this. Then I'm going to move on to the lower part of the eyelid, like underneath the eye. Which is going to be really easy. I'm just using the same black shade on a very short brush. Putting that in the outer corner. And then using the shimmery taupe shade that I used in the outer corner first. Putting that in the center. And that's it for underneath the eye. And yeah, then it's time to move on to eyeliner. For this, you can use any eyeliner you want. I'm using a brown one by Rimmel Glam'Eyes Professional Liquid Liner. Which is really old and I don't even know if they still sell it. But yeah. But either way, all you need is really an eyeliner that has a very narrow tip. Like this one is extremely small, so it makes it perfect for this. I'm going to start out with a thin line, but what I'm going to do with the leaf, as you can see in the other eye, is going to be completely impossible to do with a thick brush. So yeah, keep that in mind. I do actually find eyeliner more difficult to apply when it has a very tiny brush. As you can see, I already made one little mistake there. And the easy part about this is that I'm not going to make it exactly the same as the other eye. Just going to start out with one wing. And I'm going to make like the base of the wing just really go from like wide to narrow very quickly. Like this. And then just add the other lines of the leaf. And that's why I said this is going to be impossible almost, I guess, if you use a very wide brush. Simply because if you use a very wide brush, then, you know, it's going to be very, very difficult to get it this thin. And I just really want to do a subtle leaf and not a very like wide one. Yeah, and it doesn't have to look exactly the same as the other side, obviously, because it's a leaf. And then I'm just going to try to fix up the little inner corner mistake. First I'm just going to go over it with a tiny pencil brush. And then I'm just going to go over it with the same pencil brush and a little bit of eyeshadow. This is the same eyeshadow I put there, which is the really pale Makeup Academy one. And yeah, basically I'm going to add color onto the... Okay, it's good enough. I'm going to add color onto the leaf, obviously, but it is important to let it dry first. So while that leaf is drying, or the base of the leaf, I guess, is drying, I'm just going to apply pencil liner, which is the Essence eye pencil, called Kajal pencil, I think. Oh, Kajal pencil, just Kajal pencil, in Teddy. And I'm going to tightline with it first. And then fill in the waterline. If you want this look to be more like, I don't know, more like extreme, you can also use black. But I really want to keep the focus at having it subtle yet fun, so I'm just going to keep it at this. Yeah, basically then all you have to do is wait. And I'm guessing it's dry enough now. Okay, I'm just assuming it's dry enough now to put the other colors on it, because I'm not a very patient person. I'm going to use the Sleek palette again. Start out with a little bit of green on the pencil brush. And just dab it over the leaf. A little bit of fallout there. Okay. And yeah, just dab it over the leaf. Then I'm going to use orange. Put that in the outer side of the leaf. And I'm sort of shaping the leaf with this. And just add enough until you think the color stands out enough. Okay. And then lastly I'm going to use some yellow just to tie in the green and the orange. Just putting it over the green basically and just blending it out to the orange. Which really gives it that autumn feel. And then lastly I'm going to go use a angled brush and the Makeup Academy palette again. And that same black greyish shade. Again, if you're using a palette that has very good pigments, then I would recommend a grey color instead of this one. Instead of black, I mean. But from this palette I'm just using the black one. And just really subtly, I can't pronounce that, outlining the leaf. And then it looks like this. And that's pretty much it, except for one thing, which I actually forgot on the other eye, which is mascara. I'm going to use the Get Big Lashes by Essence. You could also use a brown mascara, but I painted my eyelashes black, so brown mascara doesn't really work on me right now. So I'm just going to use black. Also, I have a feeling when I use everything in brown, like eyeliner and mascara, then it's just going to end up looking too soft, I guess. I prefer to have it stand out a little bit. And then the eye is done. Okay, now we've moved on to the lips. I'm using In Love with Ginger by Rimmel with the purple caps. Which is a red-orange-ish shade. It's really my favorite autumn shade. And I'm applying it with the brush just because I find it easier. So that was the entire tutorial. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye! Okay, for this look I'm mainly going to use more expensive palettes because more expensive palettes. Yeah. For the main reason just because I